Far away from media cameras and bustling cities, in the hostile high-altitude terrain of eastern Ladakh, a violent confrontation unfolded under the stars, one that shook two nuclear-armed neighbors to their core. The Galwan Valley, cold and unforgiving, became the unlikely stage for a 21st-century conflict fought with 18th-century weapons. On the night of June 15, 2020, blood spilled not from bullets, but from stones, rods, and sheer human fury. What led to this? Why did diplomacy fail? And what really happened that night? This is the untold story of the Galwan clash. The Galwan Valley lies near the line of actual control, a disputed border that has haunted India and China since the 1962 war. That war left thousands dead and the boundary undefined. While skirmishes occurred over the years, major confrontations were rare until 2020. The Galwan region, long considered resolved and peaceful, became the flashpoint once more. Why? Because infrastructure changed the game. India started building a strategic road to Daulat Beg Oldi, its highest and most critical airstrip near the Chinese border. To China, it was a challenge. To India, it was sovereignty. By May 2020, satellite images and intelligence reports confirmed what Indian commanders feared. Chinese troops had crossed into the Indian side of the LAC in multiple areas: Pangong Tso, Hot Springs, and Galwan. Tensions boiled. Soldiers confronted each other, eyeball to eyeball, barely feet apart. At Pangong Tso, videos showed hand-to-hand combat, stones flying, and men being tossed into icy waters. But Galwan was quiet. At first. In early June, both sides agreed to disengage. But by mid-June, China had quietly returned, erecting tents, building observation posts, and refusing to pull back. India decided to act. It was around 7 p.m. Colonel B. Santosh Babu, commanding officer of the 16th Bihar Regiment, led a team of soldiers to ensure the Chinese had dismantled their tents, as agreed. But what they found was betrayal. Chinese troops had returned with reinforcements. The Indians demanded an explanation. Heated words turned into a scuffle, then chaos. Chinese soldiers, armed with nail-studded rods, iron clubs wrapped in barbed wire, and stones, launched a brutal attack. Indian troops, though outnumbered, fought back with raw courage. No guns were used, in accordance with a decades-old agreement to prevent escalation, but this made it all the more savage. The fight raged for over 6 hours in freezing, oxygen-starved conditions at 14,000 feet. Soldiers were bludgeoned, some fell into the icy Galwan River, others died defending their brothers. By the early hours of June 16th, the battle had stopped. Silence returned to Galwan, but at a terrible cost. India lost 20 brave soldiers, among them Colonel Santosh Babu, who fought till his last breath. Many were ambushed. Some froze after falling into the river. It was one of the Indian Army's deadliest days in decades. China, for days, refused to admit any losses. Eventually, they acknowledged 4 deaths, though sources suggest the actual toll was much higher, possibly over 40. But the real tragedy: there was no war, only death. The aftermath shook both nations. In India, there was outrage, mourning, and a call for revenge. Protests erupted. Chinese apps were banned. Calls to boycott Chinese goods gained momentum. At the diplomatic level, both sides rushed to de-escalate. But on ground, troops stayed, more entrenched than ever. Satellite images showed new bunkers, roads, and helipads built along the LAC. Meanwhile, in China, state media downplayed the clash. Heroes were honored quietly, with tight control over the narrative. The Galwan Valley, once a blank spot on the map, became a lightning rod of nationalism, military ambition, and unresolved history. What really happened in Galwan? Was the Chinese move premeditated? Did India underestimate the threat? Did both sides violate protocols? The answers remain shrouded in secrecy. What is clear is this: Galwan changed India-China relations forever. The decades-old understanding of no guns, no bloodshed was shattered. Trust was lost. And now, even peace patrols carry sticks, clubs, and body armor. The mountains remember, but the world quickly moved on. Until the next flare-up. Today, the Galwan Valley is quiet.